in a small town down in Arkansas, where the river flows. There's a man with a passion that everybody knows. He's got a collection that'll make you stare. Vintage pocket knives laid with tender care.
Howdy everybody. Welcome once again to HT's EDC. Coming at you from a fastly clouding up southern Arkansas this morning. If you can see over my shoulders here, it is almost 8 a.m. in the morning, and it is pretty dark and gloomy out there. The wind's starting to pick up. Prayers today for the south. The weathermen are saying we are going to get some weather today in the south. Maybe another one of those rash of tornadoes today. My prayers are none of us are affected with that, and we don't have that kind of weather. But anyway, we're going to get in here and make us a video nevertheless. And we're going to start, as we always do, with a little pocket jewelry here. Good old Holy Land pocket cross in the front left pocket. Love this. Love, love, love it. Also in front left pocket, as you can see, I'm super prepared. I did not have it pulled out here on the table, but we are still running the old Streamlight Microstream. Rear, I guess not deployment, rear button, rear actuating. That might be it. The power button's on the end, you know what I'm saying? We're still running that. And for a tote today, we are rocking one of my newly acquired acquisitions here. This is the old sow belly with the red barn board jig bone on it. We are loving this one. If we can get it open here. A lot of blades to get open, but you guys seen this not too long ago on the channel. Probably got a bunch of fingerprints on it, but that's okay. It's a tote today. Little limited edition. Good old red. Loving this thing. And we are rocking this in the pocket today with still at the moment mystery leather. But that is soon to be coming to an end as far as the mystery part of that leather. But we are rocking that today in the front right pocket. Okay. First things first. Cheers. This is going to come into play here in just a minute also. The good old Coca-Cola, but got to give a quick shout out for today's video to my buddy down in the old Briar Patch down there in South Louisiana. You guys know him, the old Confingerin himself, Brother Chuck, for putting me on this knife. That is something a lot of us buddies in the community do. You've heard me talk about it with me and Dwayne, but we know each other's likes and dislikes, and when we see something pop up, we're like, man, that's a Chuck knife, or man, A-Dub. Let me send this listing to A-Dub. He would love that. Well, you get the picture. We do that kind of stuff like, yeah, all the time. And this knife that I'm going to show you today was one of those cases where Briar Patch, Brother Chuck, put me on this. He said he thought he was halfway gagging to send me this knife, but it wasn't no joke to me. I smooth fell in love with it. And let's show it to you. Oh yeah. We are going back to yesterday. We had yesterday's show about this brand, and we are going back to back today. This is a none other than a good old Frontier. Imperial Frontier. And wait for this, folks. Good old HT. Can't really say it. Coca-Cola has their own red. I can't even steal this one. And good old Coca-Cola red. Check that out. Enjoy Coke. Yep, you knew it. Chuck saw this, and you know how we have our little tongue-in-cheek soda wars, especially on Fridays. He does his little Fresca Friday sometime, and you know, I'm always drinking the Coca-Colas here. But he saw this knife and is like, immediately thought of me, like, okay, I got to show this to the old Coke guy. And if he was joking, it wasn't a joke to me. I fell in love with it. I thought it was awesome. And here it is. Check this thing out, folks. Look at this beautiful wood grain on this Lockback. Now this is model number for you guys. Let's see if we can get some smudges off of it. There we go. This is the 4815 Imperial USA stainless steel. And folks, this thing, let's be honest, like many Lockbacks are, I think you kind of know. If I didn't have this, if I didn't show you the tang stamp and I just put this up here, what's the first thing that's going to come to your mind? The Buck 110. Very, very, extremely close to the Buck 110. I looked this knife up, and this is funny. They said this knife here only ran for like 2 years with Imperial, which the Frontier line, by the way, if you see this old powder horn, those were commissioned by Camillus. And you know what we think about Camillus USA around here. Breaks my heart that that plant and that company closed. But if you're much of a pocket knife collector or follower, if you will, you know that Camillus made knives for freaking nearly everybody. And Imperial Schrade was no exception. Frontier by Imperial, by the way, if you see this powder horn and you see Frontier, that is kind of their upper line that Imperial did. And well, guess who they commissioned to make them for them? Good old Camillus. So this is, you know, the qualities here is what I'm saying. This thing is put smooth together. This was an eBay find. I'm not gonna, no secret where Chuck initially saw this and where I initially bought it. This was a good old eBay find, and come to find out right now, there is several on there of this model in this condition. This is, folks, this is mint condition. When I got this, all I have done to this knife is polish these brass bolsters a little bit, because obviously, you know, probably been sitting somewhere, you know, if brass sits, it tarnishes. It just does. So I put a little Mother's, little dabble do ya on these two bolsters, and this blade had the factory edge on it. It would bite your fingernail. I mean, the old nail test, it would bite into it. But of course, I stroked it a few times on a ceramic rod. Didn't have to put it on any kind of steel. I put this on a ceramic rod, and yeah, this will pop arm hair now. So anyway, what I'm saying is this is about as mint condition as you can get. And anyway, to finish that thought, these with a sheath right now on eBay are going for $100. I've seen some $97.99, $99.99, $100-ish. Well, the only thing I don't got going that they have on those listings is I didn't get the matching sheath, which I wouldn't have used anyway. Would it have been nice to have a sheath saying Frontier or Imperial on it to match this? 100%. You know, just for the collector, you know, just so you have the whole deal. Did not come with a sheath. I did not pay $100 either. I am very, very happy. This, I don't know if I'd put this in the Chuck status on them deals he gets on the bullet knives, the Remington bullet knives, because honestly, that man should be doing time right now for some of those stealing, for some of that grand theft he does on those deals. Some of the prices he's quoted me that he's found those bullet knives on. I did real well on this. I am nowhere close to $100. Again, no sheath with it, but again, I would have had the sheath for collector purpose anyway, and it would never have seen the factory sheath. I carry these knives right here in Legacy Knives, Brother Ed Costa sheaths, all day long, 8 days a week and twice on Sunday, tongue in cheek. But it would is going to immediately go in a Ed Costa sheath. So there's that. But like I said, Chuck, salute you, buddy. 2 thumbs up. You are the man. I appreciate you putting me on this one, and you guys know. You guys know already right there. Usually I hate etching. Hate's a strong word. Don't hate anything like that. But usually I don't care for billboarding. But come on, HT Red, Coca-Cola, huh? Is this not the quintessential HT knife? This knife has found its home after all these years. Where it should be, and that is with a good old HT and some good old Coke Zero here to go along with it. This knife has made it home, and loving it. Dimensions, it is 4 7/8, folks. If you know a buck 110, and if you're watching this channel, you're obviously interested in pocket knives. And if you're interested in pocket knives, you know the buck 110. Same stuff. Maybe the buck 110s throughout the years have used 440C originally, then 425M steel, and now today 420HC. This is a 440 series. Honestly, Camillus was kind of vague. Camillus used the 440 series stuff on their stainless, whatever at the time they could get cheap. Just being honest. Is this 440A, B, C? Don't know. Somebody knows what they were running, what steel Camillus was running in 79 and 80. Well, that's what's on your blade. But everything else, folks, is basically the dimensions and the components of a buck 110. This is extremely, extremely emulating a buck 110. It just is. The rounded brass bolsters, beautiful wood grain. Everything on this guy is chamfered like the new style, the most modern buck 110s are. Of course, you guys know that they used to be a little more blockier. But Buck now rounds everything, kind of softens all the edges. This thing is no exception. Yeah. It's basically a buck 110 that's got Coke on it and a Frontier stamp. It just is. Don't get mad at me. I know Camillus made it. There's slight differences, probably in pin locations, Okay, it's okay. If I held this back here again, HT's got another buck 110. You just would. Don't you? Yes, you would. So, anyway, loving this thing. 4 7/8, if I didn't say earlier, the same closed length of a buck 110. The famous backlock of a buck 110. Famous clip point blade of a buck. You get it. Heavily, heavily inspired by the Buck 110. But man, I couldn't be happier. Could not be happier with this. And yeah, don't have a whole lot of Frontiers, Imperial Frontiers in my collection. But the ones I have, I really like. And I do think when you see the old powder horn here and Frontier series, the fit and finish is a little more, astringent. They've took a little more time with it. Look at the centering. We ain't talked about that, but I mean, look at that, folks. I mean, that is, if I can hold my hand still, splitting Broadway open. I mean, it is right down the middle. Everything is tight. Listen to that snap. Listen to this lock up. Well, I kind of fell and didn't do it on camera. Let's do it again. She's there. She is there in spades, folks. So tickled to have this. Again, thank you, Brother Chuck. I am going to have a Coke and a smile today on this dreary Saturday. This is definitely going to put a smile on my face. Hopefully it did you guys as well. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Know a lot of it is, we do a lot of tongue-in-cheek when we talk about these Coca-Colas and all that, but this knife is no joke. So thank y'all for checking it out today. God bless you. Prayers to all my folks in the South. Y'all stay indoors today if that weather, usually I'm telling you to go outdoors, get out there and enjoy friends and family. Today in the South might be a day to, do a few indoor activities and just stay safe. But Lord willing, the creek don't rise. You'll see this ugly mug tomorrow and we'll do it all over again. I'm HT. God bless. We're out.
Buck knives gleaming under that old porch light. He'll tell their stories deep into the night. Reviews and torture tests, it's a sight to see. HT's EDC.